as testing ramps up, we're certainly aware of additional hospitalized cases that are awaiting on testing and awaiting confirmation. I believe the percentage that are hospitalized is actually higher than that, as I mentioned on the call yesterday. So we will release that information just as soon as we get it, but certainly at least 10% are hospitalized.
And Dr. Harris, also from Chip Brownlee with Alabama Political Reporter, are you concerned that Alabama's case count is growing faster than larger states like Florida and Georgia?
Yes, I am. I think that part of it has to do with our rollout of testing, and we have sort of increased at an increasing rate how much testing capacity we have. So as we test more and more places, we do find larger numbers that show up quickly. At the same time, I think we believe there is disease transmission going on and that there are more people becoming infected.
Dr. Harris, from Andrew Yeager with WBHM, how are hospitalization rates being calculated? You said yesterday that the hospitalization rate is about 8%, but UAB said yesterday they alone had 62 patients with about 500 confirmed cases Thursday. That's well above an 8% rate.
Right. Yeah, that goes to the discussion we had in the press conference yesterday about how we actually count them. It's kind of a dry discussion in a way, but we have very specific definitions for how we count patients, and we have to do some confirmatory processes to make sure that they meet our definition in a way so that we know that we're giving accurate numbers and so that we can compare our numbers with other states or even with other countries. So I don't have any reason to doubt those numbers from UAB. I certainly, as I said, think we do have a higher percentage of people who are hospitalized, and they are working through some processes with us and with FDA to make sure that we can get those definitions met so that we can report that information even more accurately.
Dr. Harris, from Brian Lyman with the Montgomery Advertiser, the New York Times Friday morning reported on per capita testing by state. Alabama was one of 7 states where it could not return data, quote, because there is inconsistency in the data. Many of them report only positive results, making it hard to know the total number tested, end quote. Widespread testing and isolation of those who test positive appear to be the best method of containing the virus. Does public health have any statistics on the total number of tests administered in the state to this point, and specifically our testing per capita? Are we close to be allowing non-symptomatic patients to get tested, and when would you anticipate that happening?
Okay, that's several questions there. Let me try to take them one at a time. We are reporting to the best of our ability the number of tests that are being performed. We are very comfortable that we're capturing all of the positive tests. Because there are several other organizations and commercial facilities that are doing testing, they are required to report to us through our emergency rule we passed a few weeks ago all of the negative tests as well. The negative tests don't come in real time in quite the same way, just because it's an electronic reporting process that they've not had to do before relative to this disease, since this wasn't being reported before. It's somewhat of a manual process for us to make sure that we have all of those negative tests in the totals, and so we update those and try to keep those as accurate as possible. I think as we continue into this, that'll be a lot more streamlined and automated, and we'll be able to give you a better picture of our total rate of positives over the total number of people tested. I think we think it would be great to have large numbers of people tested if possible to get some idea of what the background prevalence or the background rate of infection is in the community. But at this time, we do not have the capacity to do that, and most states do not have the capacity to do that. So as we continue to expand our capacity, we will certainly consider doing that if possible.